Namaste students, welcome back. So yes, what will we studying? We will studying this chapter number 8, getting to know plants, and we have already started few things about plants. We are day by day we are getting to know plants more and more. Yes. So what are the things that we have studied earlier? We have studied the root system, and now we are doing the shoot system, and shoot system as well we have already started the stem part, yes, in very detail. And yes, I remember I gave you a very interesting homework in the last class. Have you done that? It's good if you have done that activity. Then you must have come to know that in plants stem can conduct water. Like if you have kept that flower for a day or two, then you can clearly see that the flower has changed its color. Yes. And those who haven't done it yet, students, please do this activity. It is very simple, and if you are not doing it, you are missing a very interesting part of the chapter. So, in the last class, the last topic we studied was what was the topic? It was classification of plants based on the kind of stem, right? So we have already started. We just studied it in brief. Like I told you that according to the type of stem, there are 4 kinds of plants. What are those 4 kinds of plants? Yes, say it with me. One is herbs. Second one is shrubs. Then we studied trees, and then last was climbers and creepers. Right? So I told you this in a very brief, right? So today we are going to just add a few points to this classification. So yes, herbs. What are herbs? First of all, I told you that herbs are very short plants having no branches at all. So these are very short in height with very soft stem, even with no branches. First of all, just try to understand the difference between term stem and branches. So students, what are stem? I hope you have seen trees. Trees are like this. They have a very thick stem, right? And then this stem, this lower part is divided into further branches, right? Then this stem gets divided into various divisions, right? So these divisions are known as branches emerging from the stem. These are branches, and this major portion, this thick portion is known as stem. So now you are aware about the difference between branches and stem. Now I am going to use these 2 words in all the 4 terms: herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. I will define it on the basis of branches and stem, right? So just make it clear, like what is the difference between these 2. Now we will use these terms because I have already told you that this classification is based on the type of stem, right? So in herbs, I was saying that in herbs the height of the herbs is very short, right? And there are no branches at all. In some plants there can be few branches, but generally, like you can write no or few branches. Herbs are having no or few branches, and they are very short at height, right? So I told you already the examples of herbs. Now you can tell me yourself what were the examples. Grass and coriander, right? Coriander you call it in Hindi as dhania, because these 2 are very short plants, right? So after this we move to herbs. Now herbs are somewhat bigger in height, right? But they have some branches. Also they are somewhat bigger in height. So what is the first point? They are medium sized in height. See the the comparison. These were short, now these are medium sized in height, and also their branches. Shrubs are having branches, but the point is their branches start at very bottom. Like this is stem, at the very bottom they start to get divided into branches, right? So what is the point? Branches start at very bottom of stem, right? So yes, what are the examples of these shrubs? I also already told you in the previous class. If you have learned that examples, what were those? One was tulsi, rose, lemon and hibiscus, right? So these are the examples of shrubs. So after this we will move to trees. I don't think that I need to explain trees much, because we have seen a lot of trees by the roadside which are having very thick wooden stem. So yes, trees will have very thick stem, thick woody stem, right? And also there are lot of branches, right? You know that. And these branches start at the top of the stem, like somewhat in the middle. There is a long stem, then there is division of branches. Not like shrubs, where the division of branches start at very bottom because their height is low, right? So in shrubs also, yes, I forgot to write one point. Shrubs are having thin woody stems, okay? There are stems, but those stems are very thin. So in trees, there are thick woody stems. After that, yes, one more point, branches start at the top of the tree. What is it? Branches start at top, okay? So yes, after that, they are very big in height, yes, they are having a very good height. Yes, herbs were having short height, shrubs medium sized height. Now trees are very good in height. They are having very big height. Trees, example of trees, yes, pine, mango, neem, oak. These were some examples that we discussed in the last class. So after this, moving to climbers and creepers. What are these? These are having very weak stems. These plants are having very weak stem, even that much weak that they cannot grow at their own. They need a support. We have already discussed it in many parts, like we discussed it in roots, in stem also. These are having very weak stem. They need support to grow. So yes, what is the feature of climbers and creepers? They need support to grow. But what is the difference? Why I have mentioned these two terms differently, climbers and creepers? Due to their growing pattern. So climbers, what climbers do? They climb up, taking a support of nearby tree, nearby plant, nearby wall, anything. They just climb up straight and take the support of some plant nearby. But creepers don't climb up. Like they don't climb like this, they grow along the ground. There are some plants, if you have seen it, that they don't grow in height, they just, if this is the ground, then they grow like this along the ground. So what do creepers do? They grow along the ground, right? Now these both are having weak stems, and we are starting the classification based on the type of stem. So these two are placed in the same category because they are having same kind of stem, that is very weak stem, and they need support to grow. So what are the examples of climbers? There are main two examples of climbers. One is grapevine, if you have seen it, grape plant, and the next one is, yes, it is morning glory. There is a flower called morning glory, it is also a climber. And then in creepers, we have two examples that is also written in your book. One is strawberry. The strawberry plant is a creeper, pumpkin plant. It also grows along the ground. Okay. So we are done with this classification. Herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers, and we have written these features of all these. You can learn it with contrast, with comparison. Just try to learn these features with comparison so that you can learn very easily. Okay, after this, what are we going to do? The next topic, you will learn first of all the 4 types of plants, right? Their features, like what kind of stem, what kind of branches they are having. Yes, and after that at least 2 examples of each kind of plant. I hope you are understanding this very clearly, as it is not that much difficult. It's very easy to understand and then learn these things. Okay. After that, we are going to move the second part, that is leaf. Okay. So in the shoot system, we have already done stem. Now we are going to study leaf. Okay. So in leaf, I have already told you that leaves are the food producer of the plant. Yes, what are leaves? Leaves are the food producer of plant. Now, what does this mean? Food producer. What is the meaning of it? So, food producer, yes, we have already discussed this, that the leaves are, they just do a process called photosynthesis, right? So, they just produce the food for whole plant. Leaves produce the food for whole plant. That's why they are known as food producer of the plant, right? So, after this, we will study some major portions of the leaf. Leaves are having some parts, and there is a specific name for these parts. Okay. So, this is this kind of leaf you must have seen. This is the basic shape of a leaf. In this, we will just study some parts, name of these parts. So, first of all, what is this? This is the stalk, right? This is the stalk which is attached to the stem. So, this is known as petiole. What do we call it? We call it petiole. It is a thin stalk that is attached to the stem. Okay. So, yes, one other point which is left here, leaves grow on the stem at nodes. We have already discussed what are nodes in the previous class, right? I hope you remember that. What are nodes? Nodes are the surface points on the stem where leaves, flowers, fruits grow, right? So, yes, in leaf we also say this, that leaves grow on the nodes of stem, right? So, yes, after this, moving to this diagram, this is the first portion of the leaf, that is petiole. So, after this, the broad part, this green part, it is known as lamina. And another name for it is leaf blade. I am also having a leaf here with me. If you can see it, this green portion, this whole green portion is known as lamina. Okay. So after this, these lines, you must have noticed these lines. What are these? So this middle one line, it is known as the midrib. Right? These lines are combinedly known as veins. So we are discussing 3 parts of these. Number 1 is petiole, right? Then we discussed what is lamina. Lamina is this green part where food for the plant is produced. After that, we are discussing the third portion of a leaf, that is a vein. Okay. So, in vein, we are having 2 kinds of lines. These are lines, these are these thin tubes. We call it as thin tubes on the leaf. So, there are 2 kinds of veins. One is midrib and other is lateral veins, right? So midrib is this center line that goes in the continuation with petiole, right? So after this, these lines are known as lateral veins, right? So yes, there is another term that you need to know. It is venation. So students, what is venation? Venation means this arrangement of thin tubes. The arrangement of thin tubes on the leaf is known as venation. Yes, what is it? Arrangement of thin tubes on leaf is known as venation, right? So yes, what do we discuss? We discussed three parts of the leaf: petiole, lamina, and then veins. And veins, there are two kinds of veins. One is the midrib, the center line, right, which grows over the petiole. Then there are lateral veins. Also, this arrangement of lateral veins is known as venation. So now we are going to study two kinds of lateral veins. What are these two kinds of venation? These lateral veins can be arranged in two kinds. So there are two types of venation basically. What are these two types? One is parallel venation. What is it? Parallel venation, right? After that, the second kind of venation, it is reticulate venation. Right? So one is parallel venation, other one is reticulate venation. Now what is the difference? See, parallel venation, in which these veins are arranged parallelly like this. You can also notice these two kinds of venation having in different leaves. In some leaves there is parallel venation, like the lines are in a parallel manner from bottom to the tip like this. There are parallel lines in the leaf. Such kind of arrangement is known as parallel venation. And in reticulate venation, what happens, there is a net-like formation. If you have seen a spider web, okay, it is somewhat like that. It forms the shape of a spider web. In some leaves, there are lines forming a shape of a chamber or a net, or you can say a web. Okay. So in that kind of arrangement is known as reticulate venation. After the definitions, similarly we will move to examples. So in parallel venation, the examples are rice, wheat, and grass, right? So examples of parallel venation are rice, wheat, and grass. And examples of reticulate venation, like the trees having such kind of arrangement in leaves, examples are mango, and leaves of beans, like bean plants are having such leaves. So we can write it as bean leaves. What are the examples? Mango and bean leaves. So after this, we started some major portions. What are these called in a leaf? After this, we will move to just functions of a leaf. We have already discussed one important function of leaf. Yes, what is it? You can tell me yourself. It is food production. Leaf does a very important part in a plant, which is food production. Like it is the food producer of plant. So what are we discussing? Functions of a leaf. Number one function is this, food producer of plant. Now how does this happen? How is food produced? There is a specific name. The process is called as photosynthesis. Now what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which leaves prepare food for the whole plant. What happens in take carbon dioxide from the air, and then sunlight from the nature. These two combine to form oxygen and water, right? So the food is prepared like this by the photosynthesis process, and yes, there is a thing that need to be present for this photosynthesis to happen. Of course, there need to be sunlight, there need to be carbon dioxide and air, but there is a substance that is present in leaves. That substance is known as chlorophyll. So what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is the green substance. It is a green pigment present in leaves. Right? So if leaves are not having this green pigment, this chlorophyll is not there, so photosynthesis will not take place at all. So first function we started today, it is very important function of a leaf, it is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process in which food is prepared by plants using carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll, and these three combine to give us oxygen and water, right? So students, I hope you got this function very well. After this we will move to two more functions, but we will do it in the next class. Till then, be safe at your homes and